Okay, we're rolling.
Good afternoon, I'm Betsy Bransgard with the Quad Cities Chamber, and with me today is Terry Brooks, a candidate for mayor of Rock Island. Terry was unable to participate in the mayoral forum that the chamber hosted a week ago. Jim Mertens was the moderator of that forum, so for consistency, I'm going to ask the same questions today that Jim posed to our panelists last week. We wanted to make the opportunity available for our members and our viewers to hear from Terry so that they can be fully informed of all the candidates and all their views when they go to the polls on April 4th. So Terry, welcome. Let's begin by having you give us a little bit of background why you're running, what caused you to be interested in running for mayor.
Well, I'm a lifetime resident of Rock Island. I'm a father of 6, a grandfather of 17. I was a 4-term alderman. I served on the city council for 16 years. I stepped down. I was replaced in 2013. And the reasons why I'm running is basically because I think the city has came to a stall, or the city has came to a point of not moving forward. So I'm basing my campaign, number one, that I think I am the best man for the job. With my experience, it kind of speaks for itself. During the reign that the different my colleagues when I was on the city council, we was able to get a lot of positive things done. When I was on the city council, I was able to get a community health center built on 11th Street. Was able to get Martin Luther King Center expanded, and also was able to get a park across the street. And we had new additions as far as on 10th Street that were built. Longview Pool was another thing that I was involved in as far as the city council. So I think I bring in quite a few strengths. I'm known to be a good person and formulate ideas, but also I was able and successful while I was on the city council to get my colleagues to agree with me. I think Rock Island is in an impasse, and I'm a person that can take the city to a position of the future.
Okay. Most of the questions have to do with business and
Sure.
issues that matter to our chamber community, so let's dive right into those. The first question that Jim asked last week, as you know, Mayor Pauley sought over the last couple of years to increase the retail tax base in Rock Island through efforts with Walmart and Jumer's Crossing. Those didn't pan out exactly like the city had hoped. Was the council wrong to pursue those kinds of efforts, and what plans do you have, Terry, to increase retail and maybe diversify the tax base in Rock Island?
Well, I would never say the council was wrong and try to pursue maybe a positive way of bringing retail in. But maybe it was miscommunicated as far as the public, as far as how they've done it. If the Walmart deal that went through, it probably have been one of the greatest things that happened in the last 15 to 20 years for the city itself. But and the Jumer Crossing thing was kind of controversial because I don't think the city made Moline and Big Island apart. I think those type of things could have done better. My vision and my strategy is not, I think, outer space or out of line, but one thing I would like to do is form a blue ribbon committee with businesses in the city of Rock Island, people that invest money in the business of Rock Island. And with that committee, we'll make them stakeholders and partners with the city. My recommendation would be to form this blue ribbon committee where the people that are involved in this process would meet quarterly. After the 4 quarters, going through 4 quarters of meeting, my recommendation would be for them to make recommendations to the city council during their goal setting process. I think by doing that, I think you would buy more of a buy-in, a better strategy as far as the city is concerned. But also I think we can reinvest a lot of the money that we use for consultants and invest it in our own people. You know, the city of Rock Island has a lot of talented people. The city business community needs to be more empowered to make decisions that are pertaining to themselves. So I think that in itself would would bring buy-in to more businesses. But I also think where the venture as far as Walmart, I think the city has to come up with an idea that it's going to be rooted. I think the city needs an anchor. And one of my visions is to be a multi-sports center. And the reason why I say that is I have 5 traveling basketball teams. During the summer, we play a circuit of a 3 to 4 state area. And what I'm finding out, communities our size are building something permanent, and a lot of them are building multi-sports center. And what I've noticed, some of the centers that we frequently play at, businesses starting to spur around. And the reason why I think that happens is because, if you're a parent, a grandparent, one activity you're going to be involved in, you're going to follow your kids. So one in particular is Romeoville. Romeoville is not an easy spot to find, but when we pull up, the parking lot is filled. And not only is it bringing in people, but it's also attracting business interest. So I think one of the biggest challenges Rock Island has to do is put an anchor on 11th Street and other places. As far as Dreamers Crossing, I think quite a few different options can be with that. You could possibly make it a residential place where you build houses. Maybe it could spark an interest in employees to be for the first time home builders program. Or maybe even, I'm coming with the idea that we have to go solar, we have to go green, we have to use wind. And maybe that might be a good spot to even invest money into that solar idea. I think in order for Rock Island to move forward, we have to move forward as far as our vision. And I think some of those things should be a part of it. We as Rock Island, we as a Quad City community have to finally rinse away the idea that we are a Rust Belt community, a Rust Belt Quad City area. I think we have to be more futuristic with our ideas. We have to be more innovative, and we have to look 5, 20 to 30 years down the road.
Okay. A quick follow-up. Most of the cities, Rock Island, Moline, East Moline, Davenport, Bettendorf, they all have a seat on the Quad Cities First Board that is about business attraction and regional marketing. How do you see the relationship between the cities and the Chamber working on economic development together? And do you support Rock Island's continued investment in Quad Cities First?
Sure. I support the Chamber, and I support a lot of the ideology that goes along with the Chamber. The whole Quad City area has to come to a point where they joint in order for every city to prosper. But I'm also in the frame of mind that the only persons who are going to save the city of Rock Island are going to be the people who live in the city of Rock Island. And that's why I think we need to formulate an idea of bringing in area businesses to have an opinion and also be a part of the team. From talking to some business people that I know, they no longer feel like they're a part of a team as far as the city of Rock Island. And I like to bring that back. Not only bring it back, but I like to enhance it and make it stronger. I think if you empower organizations like the Chamber, but with the support of city business or Rock Island business, I think it would make the Chamber's job a lot easier to deal with.
Okay. Let's shift to downtown a second. Rock Island's seen a lot of success over the years with the district,
right.
But that's going through a lot of changes now. I know there have been some challenges with bituminous being sold, the building being sold at auction, and the departure of some of the auto dealers. What's your vision for what should happen downtown, and how do you see the city spurring growth downtown?
Well, I go back to my point earlier. One or two of us are not experts. We have to go to the people that invest money. I think we have to put in their heads that in order for them to be successful, we have to believe in them. And by them having this buy-in with the Blue Ribbon panel, and by us investing some of our consultant fees into them so they can do a proper job, I think that might enhance the downtown environment. But with us just drafting plans, You know, I sit on the city council for 16 years. You know, we talk to different people. We might get different ideologies or different of what people might be saying. But a lot of us are not business experts. You know, we're not designers of a city. By getting people who actually live in that world and bringing them together, I think they can give us a better picture of what we should support in goal setting as far as taking Rock Island forward in that aspect, as far as the downtown, as far as 11th Street, as far as even 18th Avenue. You know, those are some of our largest thoroughfares. You know, I think without looking forward, without coming with the idea of bringing in solar, or even coming with the possibility of we becoming our own public utility. You know, some of the research I've done, they said if Rock Island goes solar and put panels on top of roofs in the city, they can make $1.5 million a year in that investment. But they said if we become our own public utility, we can make between 9 to 15 million. And I think that will take a lot of stress and pain off our constituents as far as property taxes and others. And it might be able to pay some of the footing of some of the bills that we invested in that might didn't work out. The Walmart expansion, the legal ends as far as trying to turn Zoomers into an industrial complex. But I just think we have to involve the citizenry in this process.
Okay. You were on the city council for a number of years, so you're familiar with the budget.
Mm-hmm.
Are there areas of the budget that you think need to be re-examined or reformed? Do you have any concerns, and are there areas that you would cut or enhance?
Well, I wouldn't want to get into the issue of cuts at this point. I think what we have to do as a city is bring in alternative resources as far as revenue. I think at this point, Rock Island is cut to the bare minimum as far as staff, employees of that nature. You know, that's why I think we need to, like I said it once, get together this blue ribbon panel, but also we got to look toward technology and the future of technology. Geneseo is a perfect example. If you drive through Geneseo, you see solar panels, you see wind turbines, and they're saving money. So if the world is turning that way, and that investment is saving the city an expense, but that investment is also bringing in alternative resources as far as money, I think we should look at that. You know, like I mentioned earlier, Rock Island can no longer be stalled. We have to move through the process of 2017 and above, and 2020 and above, 2040 and above. We got to make our climate where our children, who are really the stakeholders, have the right and the belief that the city is going to be prosperous for them. You know, I'm 56 years old. I got to make the city prosperous for my kids and my grandkids. So I think we need to take that attitude as far as trying to take this to the city to a point where alternative resources will come in and build the city as a whole. Last forum we had, I brought up the issue of the grids in the United States. You know, sooner or later we're gonna have to reconfigure how we're gonna do those grids and how costly it might be and how much money can we save. And the technology said it's gonna be wind, solar, and renewables. So I think Rock Island and the Quad City area need to jump on that and take advantage of it, because there's a lot of money out there now. There's grants that are available. Even the governor of the state signing legislation as far as trying to, as far as green energy. So we have to take advantage of those resources that are out there.
Okay. Let's turn our attention to neighborhoods for a second. Rock Island's had great neighborhood associations over the years, and there's been a lot of enthusiasm and energy. Talk about how you see the role of the city in working with neighborhood groups or others to stimulate new thinking and revitalization in some of the older neighborhoods.
Well, I think sometimes you have to turn back the page. When I was on the council, the city was really active with neighborhood associations such as Broadway, Greenbush, and Old Chicago. You might have to get these people to sit back in a room, but you got to blow the air in the ear that we are confident in the information or the time that you're putting into it. It seems like in the last 3 to 4 years, that communication has went away. talking to different neighborhood associations. I was at a one-on-one forum at Harvard Center for the people that are trying to put life back into Harvard Center. And that's what they're saying. Nobody seems to be talking to them. Without neighborhoods, the city can't become stronger. These are the people that are living in those neighborhoods all day. These are the people that know what's going on in those neighborhoods. So their input is not only vital, it's a must. So I think we need to enhance the neighborhoods, but also we need to give them the confidence that we will listen and we will make changes accordingly.
Okay. Recently, you probably saw that Davenport announced a couple of big economic development deals that impact the whole region. They're building a new Kraft Heinz plant, and there's construction of the Sterilite facility. Each of these came about in part because Davenport had shovel-ready sites in an industrial park. So the question we were asking candidates is Rock Island prepared with development sites, and if not, why not? And what can the city do to prepare for development projects and properties?
Well, I think we look at it two phases. When I was on the city council, we had Sunset Business Park installed, where we took down a lot of old homes behind the viaduct. It's First Street, I'd imagine, and we try to make space for that area just for that reason. But I think we also have to reevaluate certain neighborhoods along the thoroughfares. If there's an old neighborhood where it's a possibility that you might have to knock down in order to make room, I think we should investigate that. One of the largest problems that Rock Island has is that we're landlocked inner city, but there are opportunities on 11th Street that we can take care of that. But we also have the Southwest. But I'm a believer, until we can take care of the urban setting, the inner city, I don't think we'd be able to expand to the more suburban setting of the Northwest. Your middle city is the heart to the city. Until we can get that heart pumping more faster, I think the spark as far as other things going on. We have sites around the city that can be redeveloped in areas where we could actually invest money and expand. But then again, that's where these different panels come in. That's where the community and neighborhood associations come in, and that's where the Blue Ribbon Committee might come in, because they might be able to come up with innovative ideas that a lot of us haven't thought about.
I think one of the things that we're so proud of in the Quad Cities is how well the cities work together, and they work well with their school districts and their counties. Are there any services that you'd like to see the city of Rock Island share with some other unit of government to deliver more effectively or at a lower cost? Is there some way that we could see more opportunities for collaboration between units of government?
Well, I think Rock Island has led in a lot of areas. We was the first one that had the district, so to speak, and Moline's kind of emulated that. Rock Island has led with the home buyers program. Growth is amazing. Growth is starting to expand its wings as far as helping other neighboring cities, as far as new construction, as far as new housing, market rate, as well as affordable. Can we advance that more? I think that's what the chamber is for. I know if you sit along with the chamber, if all of us work together as a team, I think the Quad City can become better as a whole, because y'all are the communicators as far as Davenport, Bettendorf, Moline, East Moline, and Rock Island. I think if we work better together and communicate those ideas, I think we can move a lot farther.
I tell you, we're at the end of the questions. What Jim did, I would like to offer you the same opportunity. Give the members and the listeners your best pitch on why you think you're the best candidate and why they should go out and support you on April 4th.
Well, I got 16 years of experience as an alderman. During the period of time I served as our alderman for the city of Rock Island, our city was doing things. Downtown housing wasn't an issue. It became a campaign. Swibbert Park, you know, the downtown. Even in my ward, we was able to bring, like I said, a health center, new housing. If you go all the way around, we got Habitat Park, got the expansion of the King Center. We got Martin Luther King's Park. We have economic development expansion on 10th Street. We have independent living on 11th Street. We have had some small business people prosper as far as Miss Romani's hair shop. Then we got across the street, Jiffy's is now in Jesse Mark. Those things came all under my reign. Rock Island has a lot of potential. It's just that the people around those seats got to know what the potential is. If Rock Island doesn't believe in itself and take care of itself, we can't expect the chamber to move us forward. The city has to have the attitude that Rock Island can build within, but we got to deal with the attitude of new things. You know, we got to deal with what's going to be the new period of life. New period of life is solar energy. New period of life is cities have to fight for themselves. But more importantly, I think Rock Island also has to get involved in more of the political process. One of the biggest problems we're having in the Quad Cities is battling across the river with Iowa. You know, maybe neighboring cities from the most southern point of Illinois to the most northern point need to lobby our legislators and say, we're hurting and y'all need to do something about it. So maybe we need to build a coalition. It's many options. And that's, you know, in the political process, I'm willing to talk to the local elected officials within the city of Rock Island, the county board, township, city, school board, and let us come up with a political idea of how we can make the city better. You know, what's choking our cities are things like pension, insurance, and those type of things, but that all starts in Springfield. We need to more challenge Springfield as far as unfunded mandates. You know, we can no longer survive on unfunded mandates, but you have to consider the fact that property taxes, we no longer can expect our constituents to support the city alone. So there's a lot of options out there, but that has to come from the people that serve and live in this you know, in the city of Rock Island, and maybe even Quad City wide. So I just think you had to take a deep breath and just come up with a vision that could possibly carry Rock Island through and hopefully carry the rest of the Quad City through.
Well, Terry, I want to thank you for participating in the Mayoral Forum.
Mm-hmm.
To our members and viewers, we want to thank you for your attention and remind everybody to please get out and vote on April 4th. Thank you.
Thank you.